Hi everyone, I'm Rincey and this is Rincey Reads. Today I'm going to be doing a review on The Bluest by Toni Morrison. This story follows Piccola, I believe that's how you say her name. She is a young black girl and basically she just wishes that she could be a blonde, blue-eyed white girl instead of being a dark-skinned black girl. That's basically all that Goodreads and the back of the book gives you in terms of what this book is about, and it is about that, but there's so much more that happens in this book. This is my first Toni Morrison ever, and I was slightly avoiding Toni Morrison for a while because she has just this great reputation and people hold her and her books in such high regard. I was a little bit worried about diving into her work because I was partially worried I wasn't going to like it, partially worried that I wasn't going to get it. But a lot of people said that this was a really good place to start. This is also her first novel. So I decided to dive in and give it a try, and I'm really glad I did. Like I said, there isn't a lot of information given to you in terms of plot, so I didn't really know going into this what to expect other than it was going to be a difficult read or a sad read, because a lot of people have basically warned me about Toni Morrison's work and how all of her books are pretty devastating or make you want to cry or something. So that's all I knew going into it, and yes, that is definitely true, and there's so much that is covered in this book. I was so amazed by that fact. This book is like only 200 pages long, and yet so much happens, and it's so heartbreaking, but it's so worth reading. This is one of those books where it so accurately depicts what it's like to be a young dark-skinned girl, wishing that she wasn't a dark-skinned girl, being someone who is on the darker end of the spectrum, I suppose you could say. I felt those feelings in the past, but at the same time there is this whole cast of characters who are also dealing with race and being people of color and being poor and just not having a lot of privileges. As I said, this book is only about 200 pages long, but this is not a fast read by any means. This is a book that forces you to slow down and take your time. I would say that this is a book that if you're not, say, in high school or older, maybe don't read it because it deals with a lot of difficult subjects and difficult topics, and even just the language itself is a little bit on a higher level. Not to say that people who are younger wouldn't understand it, but I think it's something that you appreciate more if you are a little bit older. So I would say at minimum, if you're in high school, you can read this, but maybe not any earlier than that. I ended up giving this book a 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it, even though it was a tough book. It really pushed me in terms of reading language as well as reading about difficult topics, but this was totally worth the read, and I can't wait to keep going with the rest of Toni Morrison's work. So yeah, those are my thoughts on The Bluest by Toni Morrison. I know a lot of you guys have read this book, so feel free to leave your comments down below letting me know what you thought of this book. Also, where you think I should go next with Toni Morrison's work. I do own Sula, so I'm thinking that one is going to be my next one, but if you've read any of her other books and think there is another one that would be a better next step, feel free to leave that down in the comments below. So yeah, that's all I have for now, and thanks for watching.